Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rizky Annisa Rosadi. I'm from class 5A English Education. In this video, I would like to explain about my review journal. The title is Using Films in the ESL Classroom to Improve Communication Skills of Non-Native Learners. The writer from this journal is Miss Atia Khan from Department of Education, RMIT University, Melbourne, Victoria. Next slide is introduction. One of the problems that non-native English language learners face is the lack of interaction in the language at home, school, neighborhood, which is generally understood to boost language learning through providing the necessary language input for spoken language learning. From Bahrani and Tam 2011, Bahrani and Tam 2012, and Lee 2009. Considering this issue, various audiovisual technologies could be employed in non-native ESL learning contexts that can be provide opportunities for communicative English through different authentic materials, which might not have been initially produced or used for language learning purposes from Mixel 2009. So, the teacher wants the students learn by audiovisual. So, audiovisual in here is films, because by making use of films in the English classroom, students can enhance their vocabulary awareness and they can even make their pronunciation and intonation much better. From Curtis 2007. Next slide is purpose of research. With the ever-increasing development in audiovisual technologies, their use are not limited to entertaining people anymore. In line with that view, this article highlights that effectiveness of exposure to films on improving the speaking skills of non-native English language learners. The researcher implied that audiovisual technologies, such as films, generally are a great source for teaching spoken English and must be used more in non-native English language learning contexts. And this is research method. There are location, participant, and method. The location from the study is Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, and the participant is student of non-native learners, and the method from this journal is qualitative method. Okay, this is learning from films is stimulating and enjoyable. For many students, films are their initial contact with English-speaking culture. Films are useful means for students to listen to authentic spoken communication and be exposed to various features of spoken communication, such as vocabulary, pronunciation, voice modulation, accent, speech pace, tone, etc. From Sherman 2003 and Webb 2010. Films are a fun way for students to relax or unwind and learn all at the same time. Films as motivator additionally renders the language learning process a lot more enjoyable and entertaining. And film and also our inclusive pace of student lives today, so it makes perfect sense to integrate them into the language classroom. And next slide is how to use films in the ESL classroom. Okay, there are various ways to teach English to second language learners with help film, because students learn a language unique according to their own specific learning abilities. And films can be introduced in a language classroom as an English learning aid. There are many techniques employed to introduce a film to students. Films are effective means for learning language as long as students are presented with a variety of visual and relevant contexts in a movie. So, English teachers can use the film to expose the student to the four language skills: listening while watching the movie and reading, writing, and speaking in later tasks or activities after the film has been watched. And this is tips tips when we making use of films in ESL classroom. Although there are few important factors that must be taken care of. Firstly, students need to keep in mind that are not supposed to comprehend or fully grasp every word. And secondly, is this is for both teacher and students. Using films in class is not an opportunity pastime. It should be quiet in the country in real-time classroom environment. Its application in the classroom for teaching is intensive and it demands skill and hard work but effective and useful for the both teachers and students when done properly as the teacher all things considered. And thirdly, avoid showing the entire movie. It's easy to do this and students will want it non 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 list. It isn't what the ESL lesson should be about. And not teacher can modify the approach based on the level of their students. However, the success achieved could be more effective if the presentation of the film is supported with active in engagement of the students. And last conclusion, the conclusion from the journal is the fundamental key to the productive application of films in the ESL classroom is situated in the innovative presentation of films and in the design of challenging but practical learning tasks which are enjoyed by ESL students. Suggested the greater export to audiovisual technologies such as films can lead to growth in second language acquisition to a significant extent in non-native English language learning environments. So, I think it's enough. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.